So you had some time. I am hoping that this is what you got. Your vertex, I'm going to write it right here. Your vertex for this one, opposite 1. And because this is over on that side, because it's not outside the parentheses, it's opposite, opposite. So it should be 1, 1. Opposite, and this one, because it's next to the y. Notice that the k on this first one was not next to y, it was outside the parentheses next to the squared term. So you had to know that it was opposite same. If there's nothing next to the squared term, if it's next to the y, it's opposite, opposite, and your job will be to know that. Real simple. Don't make it harder than it is. Look for opposite, opposite, or opposite same. This one, opposite, opposite. So there is my vertex. My vertex is at 1, 1. Where is my line of symmetry or my axis of symmetry? It would be at x equals 1. Don't forget the x equals. If you wrote it as 1, you're going to miss a silly point on the quiz or test. Don't be that person. You're better than that. All right. Now, let's say I want to graph these things. I just have to make sure, now I know where the vertex is, now I know where the line of symmetry is, I just have to know whether I open it up or I open it down. I have to know whether it's wide or whether it's narrow, or whether it's skinny or whether it's fat. You know what I mean. So here we go. What tells me whether it opens up or down? It's the A. Remember this formula, how we know what the H and the K now, those are our vertex. The number that's in front of your squared term is your A. That basically tells you two things: how wide or narrow your parabola is, and it also tells you whether it opens upward or downward. So here we go. In this problem here where I have 2, x plus 1, is this 2 positive or negative? Well, hopefully you know it's positive. And it says here, if A is positive, it opens upward. And if A is negative, it opens downward. This is positive. It means it opens upward. An easy way to remember that is are you a positive person? Which way is your mouth parabola? Are you a negative person? Which way is your mouth parabola? Alright, so this one's positive, it opens upward. This one, this A is negative, it opens downward. Making sense? Okay, how do I know how wide or how narrow it is? This is real, it's not linear, these are curved shapes. If the absolute value of A is greater than 1, then it's going to create a skinnier graph. Here's what I like to do. I kind of like think of it like this. I look at this over here and I see 2. It's going to create a skinnier graph, but I can think in my head that it's like 2 over 1. So over here in the graph, it means I'm going to the right 1 and up 2. It doesn't mean that I continue doing that, because that would be a linear slope. It doesn't work that way. What it means is that this is going to double, and then the next one's going to double, and there'll be 4, and it's going to double, and so it compounds every single time. So don't think of it like it's a slope, but it will give me my general idea that I go to the right 1 and up 2, to the left 1 and up 2, and that will give me the start for how wide my parabola is. Which also means that if this number was a fraction, if it was 1/2, I'd go to the right 1 and up 1/2, and that would create a wider parabola, not a narrow parabola. The bigger this number is, the more your parabola is going to be narrow. The smaller this number is, less than 1, the wider your parabola will be. That's something to note. Remember, the negative doesn't matter. These are the absolute values. The only thing the negative does is tell you whether it opens up or down. The negative doesn't tell you how wide anything is. So, positive 1, if A is a positive 1, guess what? It's this wide. If it's negative 1, it's not wide, it's the same width except downward. Hopefully that made sense. I don't really like how my image looked right there. It looked kind of embarrassing. So I think you're ready to try it. Let me make an adjustment. La 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 la. On your whiteboards, find the vertex, the line of symmetry, the domain, and the range for this equation. It says y equals negative 1/2 x plus 7 squared minus 8. Find the vertex. Vertex is an xy. Now we're using parentheses. Not like last unit. We're not solving. We're using an xy. We're graphing these things. Line of symmetry, x equals, domain, range. Try the top one. And then, after you have it and you agree, and the person you're sitting next to agrees, you guys are working together on it, try the bottom one. Y minus 71 equals 3 times x minus 12 in parentheses squared. Give it a try. Find those 4 things, please. Don't graph it. Don't graph it.